If it were you, Admin, what would you dream about?
Grandmother's friend?
Yes. Well, at least I think I am. I don't know what Colleen thinks of me.
Could you please tell me your name? Perhaps Grandmother has mentioned you before.
Certainly. My name is Lucien.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Lucien. But I'm sorry. I don't think my grandmother has ever mentioned your name. But maybe it's just I wasn't paying attention. It doesn't mean you're not her friend.
Don't trouble yourself over it. Athena, do you mind if I ask you what you're doing here?
I'm looking for something. Something my grandmother said she lent to a friend and then never got back.
If you borrow something and don't return it, that's robbery. Who would want a friend stealing from you like that? Athena, what was it that was taken from your grandmother?
A palace family heirloom. A jewel called Eyes on the Immortal Star.
What kind of person would borrow a family heirloom and forget to bring it back? What the... Wait a minute.
What is it, Mr. Lucien?
I should first apologize, for it was me she lent it to.
Mr. Lucien, why didn't you return it to my grandmother?
You see, it's not that I didn't want to return it. It's just that I haven't had time to return it yet. As you can see, I live a cloistered life here for my creative work, and I need the eyes on the immortal star for my creation. As soon as it's done, I'm going to give the statue to Colleen.
It must have taken you a very long time.
The gem had too many impurities in it and took me ages to fix. But now it's fine. I should be done by tomorrow. Say, would you mind taking the statue to Colleen for me?
Are you telling me the truth, Mr. Lucien?
Of course. Do I look like someone who would lie to a child?
All right. But it's been so long since Grandmother has heard from you. I think you should let her know first.
So long since she's heard from me. I see. Well, think about it this way, Athena. If someone has waited so long for a promise to be kept that they've given up all hope, won't they be all the more surprised to learn it's been fulfilled?
Was that your plan all along?
Yes, precisely.
I see. In that case, I'll wait here until you're done.
My thanks.
If it were just a case of an unfinished statue, why would Grandmother have sent me to the temple instead of just waiting a bit longer?
Sorry if I'm boring you.
No.
You don't need to sit so rigid and upright around here, you know. Is that something Colleen taught you?
One must always maintain knightly etiquette when outside of one's home.
Like grandmother, like granddaughter, I suppose. You were looking at some of the things lying around here? Please feel free to take a closer look if anything takes your fancy.
Oh, you're too polite, Mr. Lucien. After all, this is... do you mean it?
Of course.
I'll make make sure to keep it quiet.
Make yourself at home. Just don't set your expectations too high. It's just what I did while messing around on my own. I didn't intend for anyone to ever see it.
You're too modest. Even I can tell that these are all precious works of art. You must be a great admirer of Odysseus, Mr. Lucian. These 3 pieces are all exact replicas of his works. I can't even tell the difference between yours and the real one. This is...
Ah, that was a gift from a friend.
Mr. Lucian, you don't need to pay attention to me like that. I'm happy just to look around by myself. Please, just pretend I'm not here.
It's not your fault. Knowing that someone is looking at my collection for the first time makes me want to work as a tour guide. I need a break anyhow. The person who gave me this watch was an outstanding sculptor. But it's more than the superb craftsmanship that has won my favor. Hey, wait for me! I said I'm sorry, Darian. Won't you talk to me? We're going to be teammates soon. How are we going to work together in the debate if you won't even listen to me?
You know, people like you are the reason why the stereotype Amorphi's punctuality exists.
But that's not too far from the truth, right? It's not a stereotype if it's true.
I can see you're still trying to talk yourself out of it. Since you're so eager to express yourself, you can head up the debate today.
Now that's a little too far. Today's debate is a big one. If we lose, it'll cast a shadow over the future of the Astral Council. No, over the future of Amorphis itself.
Ah, so you do understand the importance. Then why were you still late? It's going to put us at a disadvantage right from the start.
Is this for me? But my birthday's still months away.
It's to remind you that time is precious. We were late to the last debate because of you, remember?
Of course I do. I took a long, hard look at myself after that time. You told me the importance of punctuality, and I've gotten a lot better.
Like going from being 5 minutes late to 4 minutes late deserves a compliment. People need to learn a sense of responsibility, or at least...
This pocket watch is a work of art. The design of the hands, the texture of the strap, and the numbers on the dial here. Is that ancient Amorphi script? A piece of this complexity must have taken you ages to make. I don't know how I should thank you, old friend.
Its dual purpose deserved my time. It's my gift to you, and also a memento of the debate we just won against the antediluvians.
Why would this watch be a memento of the debate?
Because your tardiness was the only negative mark against our names.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No matter how little you care, you should respect yourself and your position, along with the responsibilities that come with it. If you can't even show up on time, how are you going to serve the future of Amorphes? No matter what you believe, in the eyes of the outside world, you represent the New Order and the Astral Council. I hope you learn your lesson this time, and go to bed early from now on.
I think that was the first time he'd ever given someone a gift. As bad-tempered as he was, he wanted to show how much our friendship meant to him.
I don't think that's why your friend gave you this as a gift.
It's a shame that I couldn't change, and ended up letting him down. Otherwise, this gift for Colin would have been finished a long time ago. Is there anything else that's caught your eye? Every single item here has a fascinating story behind it.
But aren't I distracting you from your work?
It's fine. Occasional pauses can be a valuable source of inspiration. Besides, once I start talking, I find it rather difficult to stop.
All right, if you're sure. What's the story behind this puppet?
Oh, that? I thought little girls of your age preferred dolls in flowery dresses?
Was this puppet based on my grandmother?
Good afternoon, Miss Harth. You're looking as lovely as ever. I do hope you've changed your mind about joining the Astral Council.
I'm afraid not.
Oops. Well, it's even more depressing here than the last time I came.
The puppet craze that swept through Amorphes was nothing more than a gust of wind. It came and went. And I don't mind closing the society down if people have no need for it.
People still like puppets, as far as I know. But your craftsmanship is too far ahead of its time, and none can even attempt to hold a candle to you. As time has gone on, everyone has simply stopped trying. They've left the industry altogether.
Oh, really? But I think we're still so far from achieving everything puppets are capable of, and I'm including myself in that.
I have heard that you have hand-built over 300 combat puppets, Miss Hart. Are you trying to build an army?
In the know, aren't you? But hasn't anyone ever told you it's not necessarily a good thing to know too much?
Do you have to give me that frightening look on your face, Miss Hart?
All I am doing is improving my craft. What you see here are merely prototypes and failed attempts that I've kept as souvenirs. They aren't meant for anything. The Knights of Convallaria have nothing to worry about.
Oh, don't be silly. We have always trusted you, Miss Hart. Improving your craft. But you're already at the top of your game. Maybe you would make a bigger breakthrough if you turned your attention to something other than combat applications?
And you have a suggestion?
I do, as it so happens. How about this? Making a puppet that's fierce in combat, but looks all cute and innocent on the outside. For example, it could be dressed up as a maid.
A design like that would detract from the puppet's combat performance, and would conflict entirely with its actual purpose.
Exactly. But I believe you'd enjoy overcoming these challenges, Miss Hart. I can see you're already thinking about it. Tell you what, let's put our puppet-making skills to the test in a little competition. If my puppet wins, you'll join the Astral Council and give up the thought of closing down the Puppet Society.
Odysseus, you have reached the pinnacle in so many artistic fields. Still, though I mean you no offense, there's no way you can surpass me with such an impulsive, ill-thought-out venture when it comes to puppetry.
Perhaps I'm being impulsive. Perhaps I'm not. Let me tell you a secret, Miss Hart. I have been a massive fan of your puppet store on Democritus Boulevard ever since the day it opened.
Oh?
With all that being said, if you don't feel like a puppet massacre show, why not try my other suggestion and work on other interesting applications besides combat performance?
I will.
Excellent. Then I'll craft a puppet inspired by the most powerful knight I can think of to compete with yours.
Did you win in the end, Mr. Lucian?
No, I lost.
Oh,
But she showed mercy to my work in the end. Had she not, Colin's puppet would have been damaged beyond repair.
Now that I look closely, I can see quite a few scratches and cracks where it's been repaired.
Colleen! Ah! I can't go on. You win. It's not exactly fair that you have two puppets against my one.
The challenger merely stated that there was a time limit on making the puppets.
No limit was placed on the number of puppets made. The challenger lost.
You also taught them to speak? I can see defeat. I could only build one puppet in the same time it took you to do all that. With a heavy heart, I bid you goodbye, Miss Hart.
Wait. While you admittedly never stood a chance of defeating me, your puppet did impress me. Is everyone in the Astral Council like you? Stay for a cup of tea and tell me more about it.
Then my friend abandoned her plans to close down the puppet store, and I achieved my initial goal. You know, That duel was probably the only battle that Commander Colleen Palace ever lost. I let her down.
I don't think that counts as one of my grandmother's battles. But thank you for making such a beautiful puppet of her, Mr. Lucien. I'm very interested in how you translated her appearance when she was young into a blueprint, then gradually built it into a real thing. You've even managed to replicate the way she wields her sword, and how she's recovered from many a fierce battle. It seems like you and Grandmother were very good friends.
Hey, I thought you were in a hurry. You sure about squandering your time like this, doing nothing?